Welcome to Turnbuckle Talk episode 2. We are doing a Wrestlemania recap and review, giving our reactions to it, and we're also going to touch a little bit on the NXT TakeOver show and Raw and Smackdown of this week. I'm Willie. I'm here with James.
Hello.
Alright, so let's get this started.
Should we start with just talk about since NXT happened first? Should we just touch on that first?
Well, yeah. We can touch on that first. I only watched 2 matches all the way through on the NXT show. Caught highlights of one of the other matches. I thought it was a great show, honestly, from what I caught of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Gargano Ciampa match.
Probably the best match that happened.
Yeah.
Even including WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah. That was definitely the best match of that whole weekend.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't see the ladder match, and you said you've seen it. It was awesome.
Oh,
I know
it was.
And I know it got a 5-star rating, so
Yeah.
I'm still gonna have to check that out. And then the only other match I watched was Aleister Black and Cena Almas,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty good. I just thought that there's too his manager. See, I don't watch NXT, so I don't know if it's normal, but his manager is interfering too much.
Yeah.
I just didn't like that. Other than that, it was great though.
Yeah. I don't really watch NXT very much either. Not because I don't like it.
It's that's a lot of wrestling to watch.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to not fall asleep during Raw. So at least for me.
Well, from what I hear, NXT is better than anything on the main roster.
Oh
so,
yeah.
Yeah. But I most of the time I just watch highlights or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, now let's get to the actual show itself. We'll start off with the pre-show. The first match of the pre-show was
That wasn't it. It was the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Yeah.
And I win.
Yes.
I picked Matt Hardy to win.
You did pick Matt Hardy to win. I did too. How long do you think this tag team of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt is gonna work?
See, Bray needs a babyface turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a heel for so long. I don't even remember. Has he even been a babyface since he's ever?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah,
no.
And it's they should at least. I mean, I think eventually he'll. There's even a report he might turn on him, and then he'll be the leader of Sanity, Bray Wyatt.
Huh.
I read something about that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how legit that is, but there's talk of that. But, I mean, I think they should keep them together. Bray needs a baby face, needs to be a baby face for a while.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I just thought, I mean, what did you think of the Battle Royal? Did you think it was kind of just?
I thought it was. I mean, it wasn't the worst match.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the worst Battle Royal I've ever seen. I thought that it was real thrown together. They just needed
some bodies, pretty much.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they took, well, you guys have nothing to do. Let's throw you in the Battle Royal.
Mm-hmm.
And Job Ziggler didn't win, so I'm happy.
I'm happy about that, too.
I'm not a Dolph Ziggler fan.
All right. Now, on to the next match that was on the pre-show.
It was the Cruiserweight Championship match. It was Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. I actually thought it was really good.
I thought so, too.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you think, I mean, I'll give some more detail, because I didn't take notes on the pre-show, but did you think it should have been on the main show?
Yes and no.
Okay.
The reason I say yes is I'm glad they brought the Cruiserweight title back.
Yeah, me too.
The Cruiserweights do have a match every once in a while on Raw on the main roster, but I feel that it would really do the Cruiserweight title, as well as most likely the Cruiserweight division itself, more justice to, at the very least, be mostly on SmackDown.
Now, if you would have put this on the pre-show and you had to take one match off the main show, and swap it with the Cruiserweight title match, what would you have chosen? I think I have an idea what I would do, but I'll let you say your thought first.
I probably would have done one of the tag team title matches.
Yeah, I was thinking the U.S. title match.
Okay.
But then I was like, Randy Orton on the pre-show. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
Like Randy Orton doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't.
And really, no one in that match except for Jinder Mahal deserves the pre-show.
Right.
But, so would you have put? So would you have probably went with the SmackDown though? Because maybe not. Would you have wanted Braun on the pre-show?
No, I wouldn't have wanted.
Yeah, but then it's
Braun
also kind of messed up. It's like the Usos back on the pre-show.
Yeah.
I mean, would you have maybe put even like Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss on the pre-show?
If I was to book that match to be a squash, which it should have been,
I agree.
I agree too. You know, I mean, I'm not knocking the match.
Oh, no.
I'll delve more into it when we get to it, but no, I mean, if I was in charge of booking, I was able to book it. If I was going to book the match to be a squash, then yes, I would put it on the pre-show.
Now, did you think the right guy won, or would you have went with Mustafa Ali?
I think the right guy won. It was Cedric's time, you know, because he was number one contender before Enzo got fired.
Yep, I agree.
And you know, he never got that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I liked most about the match, that wasn't the match itself, but it was after the match, the show of respect that they had for each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might have even been some like legitimacy to that. It seemed like.
Yeah. Well, 9 times out of 10 there is.
Well,
you know? Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was really good. Like, it was probably, even counting like the main card, it was one of the best matches on the show, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then so next we had the women's battle royal. And freaking Naomi ruined it. I would have been 3 for 3 on my predictions.
I know you would have. You would have.
But I thought this was kind of just meh. It was like rushed.
What do you think it's done to the Sasha and Bayley story, if anything?
Didn't really do anything.
Right.
I mean, Bayley eliminated Sasha.
I
think. Yeah. I think. I probably sound dumb now, but I'm almost positive because Bayley got eliminated by Naomi.
Yeah.
Which was weird.
Yeah.
She pulled a Jerry the King Lawler. But I mean, I think that maybe, I don't know how long they're going to prolong the feud, but they're going to end up having a match somewhere down the road. I mean, if they could try to save it till SummerSlam, but that's a long time.
Yeah, well, there's also a report of one of them maybe going to SmackDown with the Superstar Shakeup.
See, then that just defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah.
Of them even. Yeah, but I mean, what were your thoughts on it? Like the Battle Royal.
My thoughts on it were, you know, I was glad to see some NXT women in it.
Yeah, Kairi Sane was in it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Then the Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Yep, Dakota Kai.
See, I don't know who that is. Was she that black chick?
No.
Okay, who was that? There was like some black chick in there with like curly hair.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, we don't watch NXT, so.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of Naomi winning?
Not the female I'd pick from SmackDown to win.
I mean, I know you'd have picked Becky.
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of weird. Like at first I was like, Bayley wins. I'm 3 for 3 on my predictions. But then I was like, Naomi just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, everybody thought that Bayley.
Well, and then I thought something was up because they didn't play Bayley's music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's like. And Mike, were you kind of surprised they didn't throw any legends in there, like Trish?
Yeah. That surprised me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured they'd do that at least because I mean they had less. They only had 20 women in there, and I think the men had 30.
Yeah, and they didn't even have any legends or any returns or anything like that.
There was nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean they had a couple NXT guys.
I was kind of pulling for Kane, honestly.
Yeah.
You give him a little.
Mayor Kane.
Before he goes out.
Yeah, Mayor Kane.
The young buck needs a rub. No, I'm kidding. So you got anything to add to that, and then we'll move on to the main show?
Nope, let's move on to the main show.
Before we start, just like, what were your general thoughts on the show before we really dive into it?
Some general thoughts. If I was to sum it up into 3 thoughts, the first one would be the first half of the show was definitely better than the second half of the show. the second thought would be Undertaker looked good.
Yeah, his beard dye is paying off. I'm kidding. I can't make fun of Undertaker. But what else?
And 3 was there were a couple matches that could have been booked differently.
Like finish-wise, or?
One of them finish-wise, one of them all around.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll let you know which ones they are when we get to them.
So my thoughts are basically it's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
First half was really good. It's up. Second half took a big dip. Basically, you could turn this. Honestly, this is my opinion. You could turn the show off after the Daniel Bryan match. That's the way I feel. But so we'll start. So the first match was the Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz defending against Finn Balor. I actually wrote the Miz's name twice. I'm dumb, and Seth Rollins. I actually thought Seth Rollins had a really cool entrance.
Yeah.
He had like those blue contacts.
Yeah. Well, I've actually watched Game of Thrones.
See, I haven't, but I thought it was a cool entrance.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was really cool. I actually watched Game of Thrones, and they even used his nickname, the Kingslayer, which is what they call one of the characters on Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool. What I wanted, and I don't know if you wanted it or not, but I know a lot of other fans wanted, was they wanted Demon Finn Balor.
My initial thought, because the Miz came out second, and I thought, we're going to get Demon Finn Balor. And then he just came out with some bunch of people.
The LGBTQ community people.
Insult those people. But my thought on the Miz was he stole from Okada's closet.
Yeah.
He had like that robe thing like Okada wears, and those like looked like he was going swimming with his glasses.
Oh yeah.
But overall, like, what'd you think of the match?
I thought I'd give it a 7 out of 10.
I enjoyed it. It's really good.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was a good way to kick off the show. I figured that was either going to be the first match or the U.S. title match was going to be the first match.
They would go with.
I'm glad it was the Intercontinental match.
Yeah. This was a great match.
And I'm glad that, the Intercontinental match was as good as it was.
Now, you picked Seth Rollins to win, right?
Yes.
Okay, I had Balor winning, but I mean, I'm fine with it because I like Seth Rollins. But see, I thought it was a really good match. It was a really good way to open the show.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite spots was when Rollins did that Falcon Arrow.
Yeah.
And then Balor did a roll up.
Oh, that was awesome.
And then Seth did the double curb stomp for the finish on both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good way to open the show. I thought, they did it like it differently. Usually a triple threat's like it's two guys fighting, one guy's out of the ring. They did a little bit of that, but it was a lot of all three of them in there.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Oh yeah, so did I.
I agree. I'd probably give like a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's pretty solid.
Oh yeah.
Did you think? I mean, obviously you picked Seth to win, but did you think it was the right? Like, if they moved Seth to, like, do you think it was the right decision to have Seth win?
Yeah. I mean, for the simple reason that it made him a Grand Slam champion. I like Seth Rollins.
Yeah, me too.
I think he's a great in-ring performer.
Oh, he's great.
He's got really good mic skills.
Sometimes,
yeah.
He's hit or miss. He's improved.
Yeah.
He used to be really bad on the mic.
Yeah. He has improved on the mic, and I really like him. I think he'll be a great Intercontinental Champion for however long he holds it. And if he just does happen to move to SmackDown, let's just say they won't move Jinder to Raw and switch the two titles. They
should do that anyway. But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So you don't want to add anything else to that?
No.
Okay. So next was the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was Charlotte defending against Asuka. I actually thought this was really good.
I thought it was good too. This isn't the one I would rebook the finish on, but I would have booked it differently.
I wasn't a fan of her of Asuka tapping.
Yeah.
But see, The thing for me is I thought this was good, but I thought it ended right when it was getting really good.
Yeah.
And I didn't think the finish legit surprised me.
Oh, me too.
I mean, she tapped out.
Yeah.
She would have been, and I remember I said in the preview show that I thought they would boo if she won, and they really didn't.
No, they didn't.
And one of my favorite spots from the match was Asuka hit a suplex from the apron onto the floor.
Yeah.
That looked like it was hurt really bad.
Yeah.
But see, when this match ended, my first thought was penis power strikes again. Charlotte's the female Roman Reigns.
I think what they're doing is they're setting up Charlotte versus Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, it's just I'd rather see Charlotte and Asuka, or Rousey and Asuka.
Yeah.
That's just me though. I mean, if people, and it's not even that I really hate Charlotte. I think it's just. I mean, she mainly not that she's bad, but it's she's getting this spot because she's Ric Flair's daughter.
Yeah.
And not that she's bad. She's really not. But,
well, I mean, she's earned it by now in the sense of earning stuff,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, you weren't upset with Charlotte or with Asuka losing?
I was more shocked, if anything.
Yeah, there's a couple finishes that shocked me on this show.
Yeah,
this was one of them.
Yeah. I was more shocked than anything. I'd probably give the match itself maybe a 6.5, 7 out of 10. Like you said, I thought the same thing. I thought it ended when it was starting to get really good.
Yeah, it could have went another 5 minutes, honestly.
Oh yeah. I also like the show of respect between Asuka and Charlotte afterwards.
Her saying that Charlotte was ready for Asuka.
Yeah. We
got to touch on this, though. This was the best part of the match. A ref comes out and tells Cena that Undertaker's there.
Yes.
And then Cena, all of a sudden, Cena's been there drinking beers, probably 6 beers deep at that point. He jumps the barricade, and then he sprints up the ramp Usain Bolt style. It's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen Cena run that fast.
What would have made this better? I told this when I was watching it here at my house. I was like, Cena should have shoulder checked Charlotte when he was on the ramp. She was standing on the ramp, and all of a sudden you see Cena sprint. He should have just shoulder checked. Cena, that was the first time I cried with laughter on this show.
Yeah.
Cena sprinting up the ramp was great.
Oh, that was the funniest shit ever.
I've never seen Cena run that fast. But did you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay.
I've said all I...
So then third, we had the Fatal 4-Way for the United States title. So Randy Orton defending against Bobby Roode, Rusev, Jinder Mahal. This was just okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. I'd give it maybe a 5 or a 5.5.
Yeah.
Out of 10.
It's like they told two of them, you're going to call the match. Yeah. And they didn't, and, the two of them didn't even know that the other one was going to be calling the match along with them.
Yeah, and it seemed like Randy Orton did nothing in this match.
I know.
He's just get me the hell out of here.
Yeah.
He's this is, maybe I'm wrong, but it seemed like Orton just feel like he's beneath the U.S. title, and he's I don't need this.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but it's he did nothing. He hit a couple RKOs.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, really. And the only spot that I thought was cool was Orton hit that fisherman suplex that he always does off the top rope on Bobby Roode.
Yeah.
But I wasn't a fan of who won. I'm not Jinder Mahal.
I wanted Rusev to win.
I did too. I thought he should have won.
Yeah.
I mean, and Orton I figured would lose, and he didn't take the pin, which is a good idea. But then again, Jinder or Rusev I think would have took the pin anyway, because I don't think they were going to pin Roode either. But I guess Jinder. It makes sense for Jinder to be U.S. champion in a way, because it's the evil villain with the U.S. title type storyline.
Right.
But, and especially I think they're going to end up turning Rusev babyface. They need to. Right. But, I thought Rusev should have won the match. But what do you think of it?
I thought Rusev should have won the match too. It goes back to the thing where, he's organically over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you do, that's bad to do that in this company, though.
Yeah.
But, overall, what did you think of the match?
I'd probably give it about maybe a 6.5 out of 10. See,
I thought it was just okay. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it was filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay, then this next match was awesome. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie. I'll give this literally like a 9 out of 10.
Oh, me too.
8.5, 9. This match was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
This is great. And Ronda Rousey was really good in this match.
I know. She performed better than I honestly thought she was going to.
Oh yeah, and like all the moves she did looked really good. She did like a Samoan drop type thing.
Yeah.
On Stephanie that looked really cool. And then when she was like doing the MMA punches on Triple H and his wacky selling, really funny. He's all flailing himself. I thought it was cool how, and then they did the I think Ronda had the armbar on Stephanie and Angle had the ankle lock on Triple H.
Yeah.
And then Triple H flung Angle into Rousey.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
What'd you think of Rousey's ring gear?
It was interesting. I mean, she did the Piper, like the little kilt thing.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "Wait, she gonna wrestle with that?" And then she took it, just wore her MMA shorts. But,
yeah.
No, I mean, and she did really good for like her first match.
Yeah.
She didn't botch anything. She didn't,
Well, we'll get to botching later.
Yeah, she didn't look like she got lost.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Angle and Hunter carried a majority of the match.
That's true,
rightfully so. But I thought, like, once Rousey got in the match, it really picked up.
What do you think about how they finished it? Do you think they finished it the right way in terms of letting Ronda pick up the pin?
Yeah.
Pick up the win?
Yeah, she had Steph tap.
Yeah.
Angle doesn't need the win.
No.
And Ronda it's her first match. I thought she needed to win. So,
yeah.
What were your thoughts on the match?
Generally the same as yours. I'd give it a 9, 9.5. Ronda performed beyond my expectations of how I thought she was going to perform. I loved her entrance gear.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, loved her entrance. Yeah.
Oh, there's another part I forgot to add. When she did a Hurricane Rana into an armbar on Triple H.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That's probably my favorite spot of the match.
And then she hurt him up on her shoulders.
Yeah.
I wish she would have slammed him, but it was, she did. Rousey really impressed me in this match.
Yeah.
Now I don't know when we'll see her again, because, they've been kind of vague with how she's going to be used. I'm thinking similar to Brock probably, but maybe we get like another, like a SummerSlam match and then.
Well, I don't know. Like I told you earlier, she posted something on her Instagram about being scheduled for the European tour.
Oh, yeah, because they always do that like right after WrestleMania. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall.
And those are mostly house shows.
Oh, yeah. And then they do like a Raw there.
And a Smackdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought, this match to me was fantastic. And, I thought that they did a good job of, obviously Rousey's been training for a few months, but I think they did a good job of putting her in positions to succeed.
Oh, yeah.
And, with Hunter and Angle, they could carry, anyone pretty much to a decent match, even at their advanced ages. But it was still, I enjoyed it. I thought, personally, like I said, I'd give this like a 9 or 9.5. This was the best match by far on the show.
Yeah.
All right, so did you add anything else?
No.
All right, so then we got the triple threat match for the Smackdown tag titles. The Usos versus defending against the New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. This was, to me, pretty much just like a showcase piece for the Bludgeon Brothers.
I have to say one thing real quick, and that's about one of the entrances of this match, and that's the New Day's entrance.
That was hilarious.
Short stacks. That was the first thing that came to my mind. The midgets wearing the pancake costumes.
Awesome.
Excuse me, little people wearing the pancake costumes. First thing that came to my mind was short stacks.
Yep.
All right, now let's get into talking about the match itself.
Like I said, I thought it was just more of like a showcase piece for it was pretty much a glorified squash. It was a showcase piece for the Bludgeon Brothers. It wasn't, I'd maybe give it like a 4 or 5. It was just there, kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's like the U.S. title match. I thought it was just kind of there. It was like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it was just a showcase piece. I didn't really take much for notes on this. I think, just like the finish where Luke Harper hit the top rope, or I think it was either a top rope or a second rope power bomb on one of the Usos for the pin. That was cool. But otherwise, it was kind of, and I think Big E did like a dive
Yeah.
where he's going to end up killing himself one of these days.
Oh God, yeah.
Big E's. But we should just touch on it. Do you think there's any chance maybe in the shakeup they break up the New Day at all?
Maybe. What I think it would be is maybe Big E going to Raw and getting rebranded and repackaged.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be a star.
Oh yeah.
And like this isn't a knock on Kofi, but it's like he's been around so long that it'd be kind of hard to put him in the main event now.
Yeah.
And like they had a chance.
And that's not taking anything away from Xavier either.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, Xavier's more of a mouthpiece kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could really survive on his own.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just thought it was like it wasn't bad. But like, what do you think, like in general?
Yeah.
What would you give it as like a grade?
Probably a 4.5 or a 5.
That's kind of what I was thinking. All right, so should we move on?
Yeah.
All right, so we got the next match. It was an unannounced match. We had Drunk John Cena versus The Undertaker.
That was only the second match.
What do you mean?
Remember, Elias came out first?
Well, yeah, okay, so yeah, they did a really good job of trying to earlier in the night, obviously, we didn't really mention it too much, but Cena was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And wearing street clothes, taking pictures with the fans, drinking beer, having a grand old time.
Oh, yeah.
Then all of a sudden, a ref comes down, tells him Undertaker's here. Cena kind of at first just like laughs, like, oh, whatever, stop messing with me.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm serious, like it's hard to hear what he said exactly. But then all of a sudden, Cena, like I said, hurls the barricade, sprints up the ramp, Usain Bolt style. Should have shoulder checked Charlotte. Would have been awesome. I did cry at Cena running up the ramp. But I would have added in. I'd have probably been laughing for like 10 minutes. But then, he comes out, the ref, there's another ref that comes down. Can't really hear what he says, but Cena ends up grabbing him by the shirt. Cena gets out of the ring, goes to high five the fans or whatever. All of a sudden, the lights go out and troll job Elias comes out.
Yep.
I mean, it was funny. He did a performance. It got him on the show, I guess.
Yeah.
But, Cena ends up wiping him out, and then Undertaker comes out. And then I'll let you talk about it, and then we'll get into the actual match.
Yeah. John Cena botched the big boot, and I thought it was hilarious. I also thought he made up for it when going for the 5-knuckle shuffle and the zombie sit-up.
Oh,
and
Undertaker
he fell on his ass.
No, I laughed. And I just want to say, like, what do you think of how they set up, like, Undertaker? Like, they did, they had his hat and his coat and his gloves in there, and then the lightning bolt came, struck at Cena, who was, like, on the ramp with all the smoke around him.
I thought that if I had any power to book, what I would have done is I would have done that on maybe the Raw before WrestleMania, getting Undertaker to accept his challenge. I mean, I understand why they didn't have Undertaker come out and accept the challenge beforehand, because they already felt, they had enough butts and seats.
That they didn't need to announce this ahead of time.
Right.
But I do want to say, once I heard the gong, I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I didn't hear no motorcycle or any Kid Rock crap, anything like that.
Yeah.
Once I heard the lights go out and I heard the gong, I was a happy man. And I wouldn't have crapped on it anyway, like I said. But yeah, I agree. Like, this was a glorified squash. It was 2 minutes and 45 seconds, but it was awesome.
And props to John for taking the squash. You know?
I mean, someone of his caliber, you'd never see someone like back in the day, like a Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Steve Austin, The Rock, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. You could present this to them like, oh, we're going to bring a legend back. They're going to beat you in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. They would have laughed in your face.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, Cena deserves a lot of credit for even agreeing to get squashed like this. And I just want to say, Undertaker looked really good.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it was a short match, but he did all of his old moves. He had his flying clothesline. He did the clothesline in the corner he used to do. He did snake eyes.
Old school.
He went for the big boot. Cena fucked that up. It was all right. And then he did old school, which was awesome. He hasn't done that in years. And then the zombie sit-up was the best part of the match. Cena just goes and falls. The way he sold that was awesome.
That kind of reminded me of Undertaker versus Brock, when Brock did the zombie sit-up and him and Brock laughed at each other.
Well, yeah, but that was different because Undertaker, like, Yeah, but I thought, overall, I mean, do you think this will set up a rematch down the road?
I think it should. at the very least. There's a lot of reports saying that Taker is thinking about coming back, or he is coming back for just like a really, really mini run, limited, very limited.
And I mean, that makes sense because I'm pretty sure it's confirmed we're going to get him at WrestleMania next year because he's wrestling in that Saudi Arabia Greatest Royal Rumble show they're doing in a few weeks against Chris Jericho in a casket match. But I think maybe we get a SummerSlam out of Taker, maybe potentially Survivor Series, maybe the Rumble. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be his retirement tour.
Well, that if they do have the match at next year's WrestleMania, it's going to main event regardless.
I mean, it kind of has to, especially if they announce it ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that might also be another reason why they didn't announce this, because they felt it might have overshadowed the rest of this show.
Yeah.
And they had a pretty stacked show, so they didn't. I mean,
oh, yeah.
And I mean, it was fun. I mean, obviously, it's always cool to see Undertaker, but I think it should lead to a rematch. Doesn't necessarily mean it will, but I can't really think of anyone else for Taker to really work with.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's like you were saying, Cena deserves a big tip of the cap for this because he didn't have to do this.
No, he didn't.
And like a star of his caliber, shouldn't. I mean, Cena shouldn't be getting squashed like that anyway.
Hell no.
Someone of his caliber, he's a 16-time world champion.
Oh yeah.
He's held countless other titles, won a bunch of,
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
He's done just about everything you could do in the business.
Yeah, exactly.
But he will not have the one accomplishment Chris Jericho has that nobody else has or will ever have.
The Rock in Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plug to Jericho there.
I mean, yeah, Seth Rollins beat Reigns and Cena in one night.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not close to Austin and Rock level, but did you want to add anything else to Cena versus Undertaker?
Just that I hope there's a rematch.
Yeah,
next year's WrestleMania.
I mean, it's like I said, I can't complain because I wanted to see this for years, and I guess it happened. So
yeah. I
guess I can't be. And I get probably why they kept it short. I felt like it was a match for Undertaker just to test out. His hip.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know for sure, but I know he got at least one. But I don't know if he got a double. I heard he might have got a double hip surgery.
So like a double replacement.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, but it seemed, and he moved around. I mean, obviously, we'll have to wait and see till if he actually has a full match. Because now, do you think there's any chance maybe we get if Taker's around more this year, maybe we get a rematch with Roman, or maybe he works with who? What are some other people you might?
God, I hope not with Roman.
Well, if they do, I want Undertaker winning because then that defeats the purpose of them doing the rematch. But say. If Cena and him happens, what would you like to see Taker do for the rest of the year? Who would you like to see him work with?
I don't know if maybe I don't know. Ooh, that's tough. Maybe do a program with Seth Rollins. I think
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or AJ.
Yeah, or AJ Styles even, yeah.
Because that could, AJ could get a great match. Well, I guess I can't say that of anyone. We'll get to that, but yeah, I think if this is Taker's little, and we don't know for sure, but I'm thinking if he's going to work this Royal Rumble show, he's going to be around a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we're going to be seeing him wrestle on Raw or anything, but yeah, but I feel like they should do a rematch. Do you think they should maybe give Undertaker a token title run at all?
It would be right, but who could he have a title match against and put on a good match?
AJ.
True.
If you have AJ keep the belt, people are probably going to be mad, but if they could, they could do Cena versus Taker, career versus career with the title on the line.
They could, yeah.
But then obviously you'll get the fans that there's part-timers in the world title match, main eventing WrestleMania.
That shouldn't matter. It's the fucking Undertaker.
Well, I know, but that's how they are. It's the part-timers, I don't know how Cena, Cena is a part-timer, but it's he's not a part, when he's there, he's there.
Yeah.
So it's not like if Cena was champion, he's going to disappear for months.
Right.
Cena would stay until he at least dropped the title.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, they don't need to have the title on line. It's John Cena versus The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And if it's career versus career, I don't care what anyone says. It has to main event.
Oh, yeah.
If they do a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, especially if the title's in the picture.
Yeah, and I mean, this was a squash, so I can't really give this a rating. I just gave it an NA. I just, it was awesome to see Undertaker come back. So, that's about all I have to add, though.
Yeah. Well, since it was a squash, we'll do an out of 5 score. Out of 5, I'd give it a 2.5, maybe a 3.
Yeah. I mean, if Cena wouldn't have fucked up that big boot.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was great.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hey, he was drunk. Drunk John Cena. See, and Cena they could also play this in the storyline, where Cena was like saying, he could say he was caught off guard. He didn't expect Undertaker to actually show up.
Yeah.
And he had like 10 beers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could play that. I mean, I think they should do a rematch. It doesn't mean that they will, but it's like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
I don't see who else they have for Taker to really work with.
Yeah, I don't either.
And it just, I don't know how true this is, but I've heard reports for years that Undertaker has wanted Cena to be the one to retire him.
Yeah.
And I remember reading last year that he specifically asked to work with Cena, and they told him no, and they gave him the choice to work with Strowman or Reigns, and he chose Reigns.
Huh.
I think Dave Meltzer reported that, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know how legit that is, but that's something I heard.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I feel like, and even if this was it, which it's not, obviously, because I don't think Taker is going to retire at the greatest Saudi Arabia Royal Rumble show.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be weird. But so, yeah, I want to see a rematch. And do you feel like if they do the rematch that Taker should put Cena over, even though you said that you kind of thought what Jericho said, Undertaker shouldn't lose another WrestleMania match?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it would wholeheartedly be up to, because, like you said in the last episode, Cena's got one foot out the door.
Well, he does, but Taker's an old man.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's to say, he wouldn't, that if he won, he just wouldn't retire after that anyways.
Well, then what's the point of the stipulation?
True, yeah.
I mean, unless it's like they both, they can't really do, I guess they'd be like, oh, we're both going to retire, but then that doesn't make sense.
No, yeah.
And, now, yeah, I mean, I feel like Cena did Undertaker this was a huge thing of respect for Cena to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, he didn't have to.
No, he didn't.
And I think Undertaker, this is my personal opinion, Undertaker should go out on his back and give Cena his win back.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it'd be fine if Undertaker, obviously I'm not going to be mad. People have been on, like, I've heard people say, like, oh, you'd be okay with Cena beating Undertaker but not Roman Reigns. It's like, it's freaking John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
A guy that's been on top for 13, almost freaking 14 damn years now.
Oh, yeah.
And, people like, oh, he gets booed like Roman. Yeah, at one point in time, John Cena was actually over.
Yeah.
No one can deny John Cena wasn't over.
Right.
And, Cena's, he doesn't need the win, but it just, anyway, we're kind of going on.
Yeah.
So we'll move on. So match 7 was a tag team match. It was the return of Daniel Bryan teaming with Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. What are your thoughts on this?
I'd give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what were your just thoughts in general on it?
My thoughts in general on it were, it was kind of reminiscent of WrestleMania 30 in terms of, Bryan being taken out of there.
Yeah, WrestleMania 30, Mick Foley his ass back to the ring.
Yeah.
So it wasn't quite to that level, but
yeah.
See, I thought like the first half of it, because obviously they attacked him from behind. They did the apron. Owens did the apron power bomb to Bryan. I thought the first half of it was kind of boring because all it was Owens and Zayn just beating down Shane. Yeah. And I thought once Bryan got in the ring, it picked up a lot. So I'd probably give it like a 5 or a 6.
Okay.
One of my favorite spots of the match Owens was yelling at Bryan that he should have stayed retired. And then I laughed. And then he hit him with a pop-up powerbomb.
Oh, jeez.
And then Owens. But I thought the finish was cool where he did, he did his kicks that he does.
Yeah.
And then he did the knee, the flying knee that he used to do for his finisher.
Oh, yeah.
And then he hit the yes lock on Zayn for the submission.
Do you think he lost anything?
Who?
Daniel Bryan. Think he still got it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still crazy Daniel Bryan. He didn't tone anything. He did a freaking dive
I know.
and a baseball slide.
I know.
People were saying Bryan was going to tone his style down. I don't think so.
No.
No, he still looked good. Obviously he was in there for like half the match, but
yeah. And what about Shane fighting through that hernia and shit?
Yeah, he was blown up.
Yeah.
He didn't look good.
Uh-uh.
I mean, maybe he's got some guts to work the match. I'll give him.
Yeah.
But it was more about Bryan's return than the actual match.
Right.
To me, and it's cool to have Daniel Bryan back.
And I knew they weren't going to have Daniel Bryan lose his return match.
No, and it's like we discussed. We thought one of them might have turned heel, but then I'm fine with them not doing that.
Yeah.
Because it would have just been like if Bryan would have lost because Shane screwed him over. That would have been stupid. And Owens and Zayn will probably end up on Raw anyway.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. And I don't know, it was decent. Like I said, the first half was boring until Bryan got in there.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see Bryan back. It's cool.
Oh yeah.
And I hope, maybe you'll get to the point where the fans are gonna start thinking he needs to win every match. But I like Daniel Bryan, and I hope he can, be around, stay in the ring for a while.
Oh yeah.
So, did you want to add anything else?
No.
Okay, so next was... Okay, this is where I was saying earlier, is after this match, you could really just turn the show off.
Yeah.
This is where, to me, the show took a big dip.
Okay.
So we had the Raw Women's Championship match. There was Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax.
Yeah.
I'd give this maybe like a 3.5 or a 4 out of 10.
I'd give it a 4.
This was like 10 minutes long. If they would have cut off like 5 minutes of this match...
It should have been a squash.
Well, yeah, but also you already had, Cena and Undertaker. You really want to have 2 squash matches on one show. I get that.
Yeah.
But, they could have just moved this to the pre-show and put the Cruiserweight title in this spot.
Yeah, they could have.
It was... I didn't really take a lot of notes. It was just kind of... I think the only thing that was cool was, Bliss did, a little flip type thing off the top rope on the night.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was kind of just there. What do you think of it?
I'd give it a 4 out of 10. I felt it was really just filler. I agree with you. You could have turned the show off even before this match.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
You could have turned it off before the Daniel Bryan match if you really wanted to.
Right.
But it's cool Nia Jax won the title. The story was good,
Yeah.
They used to be friends, and then she starts, fat shaming her, and,
yeah.
It was a good story.
And in terms of storytelling, I could see if, that's why they wanted to make it, the 10 minutes and everything,
Yeah.
To give them time to tell the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was kind of just meh. So next was... WWE Championship match. AJ Styles defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. Remember I said it's impossible for AJ Styles to have a bad match? I was wrong. People aren't going to be a fan of me saying this. This was garbage.
It was garbage.
And I hate to say... Now, I'll say this. Do you think maybe from the New Japan match, people maybe had too high of expectations? Or do you feel like it just was bad?
I feel 2 things. One of them being the high expectations from their New Japan match.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing being booking. This is the one where I would have booked the ending totally different.
So you're saying you wouldn't have had Shinsuke turn heel, or
no. I would have had him turn heel, but I would have. It made sense why they had him lose the match, but I would have just made him I would have had him win the match.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you would have had AJ turn?
No.
Oh.
I would have had Shinsuke still turn.
Okay.
Have it be like AJ's there congratulating him and stuff.
So similar to what they did.
Yeah.
Just you would have had Shinsuke win.
Yeah.
See, I was happy AJ won because like I said, I haven't been impressed with Shinsuke's run.
Right.
And this kind of proved it to me, though. It's like he's worked with some good people, minus Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
But this might have been the worst match I've seen AJ have since he's in like TNA.
Yeah.
This was not good.
No.
And I hate to say that because I like AJ Styles.
Oh yeah,
he's the best. He's the best performer in the company
currently.
And,
yes.
I mean, everyone has a bad match. I guess I thought it was impossible for AJ to have a bad match, and I was wrong.
Well, I mean, Shawn Michaels has had a few bad matches too. So.
Yeah, in like the '80s.
Yeah.
But maybe when he was with the Rockers.
Yeah, but still.
So I maybe give this like a 5 or a 6. Honestly,
yeah.
This was not good.
No.
And do you feel like because I've heard some people are saying that maybe they got told not to go all out.
That could also be it. I mean, I've heard both Vince and Kevin Dunn are real strict at pay-per-views of them, sticking to a certain type of script.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly Wrestlemania, which I can understand and everything. Like that's where they're the strictest of them sticking to a certain type of script.
Yeah.
I think that if they would have been able to let loose a little more, Nakamura was actually able to use that strong style that he's most famously known for, and if they would have let AJ, revert back to, his New Japan days a little bit more, then...
Yeah, because I mean, WWE has a different style.
Yeah, because I honestly thought that, that match was going to steal the show.
Yeah, but the mixed tag did.
Yeah.
That was the best thing on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, it seemed like it just moved, it was really slow paced, especially for two guys like this.
Yeah.
Like AJ's done some slow paced matches. Like some of his matches with Cena were slow paced, but they were all really good.
Yeah.
But oh, go ahead.
For me, this one was like, they weren't sure if they had enough time.
Yeah.
But yet they needed time filled.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it went over. It was like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
They could have maybe. I mean, if they could have, it's just like, I don't know. The whole match moved slow. Like there was nothing. It didn't pick up really.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. You think they'll do another match?
Maybe. I mean, yeah. I thought the match was kind of slow. I decided to use that as my smoke break. Go out, smoke a bowl, come back.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, and what do you think of Shinsuke's turn?
I think it's them reverting him back to his New Japan character.
See, I didn't really. I mean, I seen some of his work in New Japan, but I didn't know he was a heel there.
Well, in New Japan, they don't really have a face or a heel. They just your character, and whether the people like your character or don't like your character, that makes no difference. It's basically like the Randy Orton thing. People still cheer him regardless of whether he's face or heel.
That's true.
And
Randy Orton hates it, by the way.
Yeah, and in New Japan, if they like you, they'll cheer for you regardless of if you're face or heel. If they don't like you, they'll boo you regardless of if you're face or heel.
I guess I should rephrase that. He doesn't hate getting cheered. He hates being a baby face.
Yeah.
But so do you think Shinsuke could really cut being a heel? Because as a heel, you have to talk more.
I mean, on the mic in New Japan, he spoke Japanese.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, that's his first language. He's not horrible at English, but I think, his English should get better before they put him into any real major feuds as a heel.
Yeah, I agree. I just feel like, I mean, him being a heel, from what I understand is, I don't know, I read a report that Vince doesn't like babyface versus babyface feuds,
Yeah.
and so they turned him because they eventually down the road might do a Daniel Bryan AJ babyface program.
Oh.
So they don't want to do too many of them.
Yeah. Now, what'll piss me off is if they lift limitations off of them too.
Bryan and AJ.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll love
They
the match.
haven't-
I'll think it's a great match. But what'll
Yeah.
piss me off is if they lift the limitations off of them, and they didn't Nakamura and AJ.
And that, so you're like, so you think that if AJ and Nakamura was just bad, and then they limit Bryan and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean we got a little they had a match on SmackDown, but
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So next was the Raw Tag Team title. Sheamus and Cesaro defending against Braun Strowman and Nicholas.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was just kind of, I mean, it was cool, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it was stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was just a waste of Braun Strowman.
Yeah, he deserves better. I mean, it was a cool moment. He goes out in the crowd and gets a fan who's more over than Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It was to be his partner. Apparently, it was like one of the referee's kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like they wasted Braun on this show. He could have been used a lot better.
Well, I don't know for sure if it was one of the referee's kids. I've heard it was a referee's kid. I've heard it was a producer's kid, a production assistant's kid. I've heard it was a Make-A-Wish kid that he just pulled out of the audience, you know?
Yeah, I mean, see, and it's hard unless you put Strowman in the Universal title match. There's really nothing for him to do on this show.
Right.
And I mean, I feel like he deserved a lot better.
Yeah.
But
you know, he took what was handed to him and he made chicken salad out of chicken shit, as Stone Cold would say.
That's true.
You know?
I felt it would have been better if he would have let the kid get the pin.
Yeah.
To win the match.
Yeah.
But yeah, my thought was this kid's more over than Roman.
my thought was that, oh wow, this kid's gonna have a cool show and tell this week.
Oh yeah, we forgot. What would you rate? We've got to go back. What would you have rated AJ and Nakamura?
What would I have rated AJ and Nakamura? Ooh, probably a 4 or a 5 out of 10.
It was shit.
And back to the Braun Strowman thing, I would rate that probably. I mean, it was decent for what it was.
Yeah, I gave it like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like
so much wasted potential on that.
And Jesus.
Are we on to the match of doom?
The match of the night.
The dreaded main event.
So the main event, the Universal Championship match, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I could literally read you my notes. It's like 4 lines.
Okay.
Roman Reigns gets booed out of the building. The crowd shit all over the match with CM Punk chants. This is awful chants. Suplex City, bitch. 6 F5s to beat Roman Reigns. What the fuck? Who books this shit? Roman bled like a pig. Lesnar retains in a shocking fashion. This was one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. Then I put Roman as a failure, and they need to stop forcing him down people's throats.
I thought it was worse than Goldberg and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20, and that's saying something.
That match was bad. Yeah. I mean, that didn't main event, but that was terrible.
Yeah.
And I'll give Brock, it seemed to me like Brock tried.
Yeah, I'll give Brock credit. It seemed like he was trying. And I don't know. I doubt it was the plan to bust Roman open. I think that might have been what their confrontation after the show in the back was about.
I heard that everything in the match went to plan. Brock was pissed about the crowd.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard.
I've heard 2 different stories on
here.
What their confrontation was about. We'll get into that in a little bit, but yeah, I heard that Brock went off script, making him bleed and Jericho said this multiple times on his podcast. He's even said it in his book. Vince has a 0 color policy.
Yeah, and I remember when they did Randy Orton and Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And Orton got hard weighed, and I guess they agreed to that finish. And Jericho actually tried to fight Lesnar backstage because he thought that, like, obviously him and Orton, Jericho and Orton are friends, so he was looking out for his friend.
Yeah.
He thought that like that finish was violent, and that Randy Orton was out of the ring for he got a concussion.
Yeah.
He had to get like staples in his head.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I guess Jericho and Brock had a confrontation in the back. And so, I mean.
Yeah. Well, Jericho talks about it in the story he told about a cage match he had against Batista.
Oh, yeah, and Batista paid both their fines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember they were talking about that.
Yeah.
So I just rated this like a 2, 1.5. This was awful.
Oh, God, it was. I was doing the "this is awful" chants with him.
And it wasn't even the
I was sitting on my couch doing the "this is awful."
It wasn't
is awful.
It wasn't even the crowd crapping on the match.
No.
Even if they weren't, it was just bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I just like.
I mean, the crowd was already tipped beyond that point.
Well, I mean, you're sitting. It's a 7-hour show if you count the pre-show.
Yeah, I think the crowd was just getting tired.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to go home. They would have liked to have seen something totally awe-inspiring.
But, see, you couldn't have put Nakamura and AJ in this spot either, because that was bad too. I mean, it was better than this.
What about Taker Cena?
Would you want to end the show on a squash?
No, but
I mean, looking back, the mixed tag probably should have main evented this show.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they could have had Cena and Taker main event, but what do you think of, like, this is the 4th straight WrestleMania main event for Roman Reigns, which the only other person that's ever main evented that many in a row is Hulk Hogan, brother.
I know.
And I'll say this, Roman Reigns is no Hulk Hogan.
No, he's not.
Well, I mean, do you feel like Roman should just be de-pushed at this point? Like, what are your thoughts on the whole Roman Reigns thing?
My thoughts on the whole Roman Reigns thing are, I would like to give him the benefit of the doubt in terms of, maybe if he was rebranded and repackaged, then he might be able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's giving him the benefit of the doubt.
And see, like, he has good matches a lot of times. It doesn't seem like he's like a terrible performer. It's
right.
He's over pushed.
He's stiff.
Yeah, and people say like, oh, he's polarizing, and he gets. And I'll say this too. It's like they're trying to make him the next John Cena. He's also not has nothing on John Cena.
Right.
And a lot of people they boo Cena too, except for it's more of a joke nowadays with Cena. Yeah. Whereas Reigns, people just hate.
Oh yeah.
And so I know your parents, like, what'd they think of this? I know they're Roman Reigns fans.
Well, actually, my mom's actually starting to jump off the Roman Reigns bandwagon.
Huh.
Yeah.
And why is that? Is she just starting to...
She's just getting bored with him. Yeah. Yeah, she's getting bored with him. She thinks he's too stiff in the ring. She thinks he needs to loosen up. She thinks that he would have better matches if he did that. She thinks he would be a better character if he did that.
But see, doesn't she not like Brock Lesnar?
She's to the point with Brock Lesnar where, she acknowledges
that he's good.
She acknowledges that he's a true athlete.
Okay, but I mean, what'd she think of how they had Roman kick out of like 6 F5s?
She actually fell asleep in her chair during the match.
I don't blame her. So then, obviously, I was not. Then, how did Greg feel about it?
He was sleeping during the whole show.
See? Okay, see.
Yeah.
I mean, I almost fell asleep during this match too. So
yeah.
But I thought he kicked out of 5 F5s.
God damn.
The 6th one put him down.
I know.
6. It's like they need to end. They need to do something.
Yeah.
They either just need to end this, and I have a feeling he's winning the belt in that Saudi Arabia show.
Yeah, maybe.
And just
I don't know though. With Brock Lesnar re-signing, it makes me think that
yeah.
the reports about him versus Lashley at SummerSlam and him dropping the belt to Lashley at SummerSlam.
See, we should touch on that. So there's been some. I've heard different reports. I've heard he re-signed a multi-year deal where he can get he can arrange for. I think he can arrange for a couple UFC fights. I've heard it's literally like a limited, like he signed for like a short-term deal, maybe just for the Saudi Arabia show, and then he's gone, or maybe he signed through SummerSlam. I've heard conflicting reports.
Yeah,
So
I have too.
I don't know what I was legit shocked Lesnar won.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad because I didn't want Roman to win,
right.
but I feel like they need to end this.
No, yeah, they do. Definitely do.
And it's not a knock. I feel like Roman's run on top. If you look at all the people they've put in to get him over, I have never seen them have another guy that they've had to put this many people just to try to get him over, and it hasn't worked.
Right.
He beat the freaking Undertaker. Look at his 4 WrestleMania main events: Brock Lesnar, Triple H, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
They brought in The Rock to get him over.
That didn't work.
They brought in Vince McMahon to get him over.
That didn't work.
They used John Cena to get him over.
That sure as hell didn't work.
Well, I mean, Cena kind of went into business for himself.
Yeah.
But they've sabotaged a lot of people's momentum.
Yeah.
For Roman Reigns. He beat Braun Strowman, which that was Braun's first pinfall loss to Roman. Mm-hmm. That was like Fastlane last year. I mean, obviously Braun got his win back, but now look at Braun.
Mm-hmm.
He's beaten Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins. It's just they've used so many guys and it hasn't worked. And I'm kind of rambling, but did you want to add anything else to this?
Nope.
Okay, so should we move on to Raw?
Let's move on to our review and recap of Monday Night Raw.
I gotta remember what happened. I didn't take any notes on Raw. I just remember the show started with Rousey, comes out, puts Stephanie in the armbar. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, it was.
I think after that, I'm trying to remember.
Hold on,
I want to say Sasha Banks fought one of the Absolution people. I could be wrong. I just didn't take any notes. I'm just trying to remember what happened off the top of my head. Let's see if I can pull something up here. This probably looks really bad. We're like in a silence here, but
that's okay. That's okay. My notes are loading up.
Yeah, I didn't take any. Overall, I didn't think Raw's just a bad show. It's hard enough to sit through Raw without me passing out. So, it kind of looks like they're setting up a Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe feud, potentially for the championship.
Yeah.
If he wins, Bobby Lashley returned, which was cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Ember
Moon made her main roster debut.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then the Authors of Pain.
Yep.
I think No Way Jose debuted.
Oh God.
We got Bray Wyatt hugging Jeff Hardy. Brother Nero.
Braun Strowman and Nicholas relinquished the titles.
Yeah, give Nicholas the Universal title.
Don't forget the Bar confronted Kurt Angle about getting the tag team titles back.
Yeah, they started a tag team title tournament.
Yeah, tag team eliminator.
Which the winners face Sheamus and Cesaro at the Greatest Royal Rumble show.
Yep.
That show potentially looks like it could be better than WrestleMania. We're getting John Cena versus Hunter. Undertaker versus Chris Jericho, which is awesome.
Yep. Paige retired on Raw.
Yeah, that was... I saw... They finally actually said she can't wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
They were very, kind of vague about it.
And did you watch the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match?
Yeah,
Them against each other?
They had just. I mean, they've had so many matches. It's kind of just like meh at this point, honestly.
Yeah.
They'll probably both somehow end up on Raw. I did laugh when Kurt Angle told him TNA was hiring.
I laughed my ass off.
I did laugh at that. Yeah.
The main event, though, a 6-man tag match. What did you think of that? The Rollins, Balor, and Jeff Hardy versus Miz and the Miz Taraj.
It was okay. I mean, that's your main event for the first Raw after WrestleMania. That's not good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was okay. Nothing, too crazy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You want to add anything to Raw? I'm just trying to remember it because I don't have any notes. So
I'm.
Did anyone else debut that we're forgetting? There's Ember Moon, the Authors of Pain, Bobby Lashley, No Way Jose.
Yeah.
Trying to remember if anyone else debuted.
No, I think all the other debuts were on SmackDown.
I mean, there was only one on that, I believe. Should we just move on to SmackDown?
Oh. Got a news report that just popped up on my phone.
What's that?
Jerry the King, WWE legend Jerry the King Lawler revealed he recently suffered a stroke while having sex with his fiancée.
That's interesting.
The 68-year-old famously went into cardiac arrest live on air during Raw in September of 2012 and received medical treatment at the announce table next to the ring. Now he's opened up about having another stroke just 3 weeks before WrestleMania 34, an event that saw him commentate the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Speaking on his Dinner with the King podcast, Lawler described his latest scare, which became while he and partner Lauren McBride were expressing love for each other in a certain way. The King said, "I got up and I said something to Lauren and I didn't really feel anything. And she said, 'What did you say?'"
Oh, that's great. Oh, man. Wow, I didn't know he had another heart attack.
I didn't either.
Oh, man. At first, I thought you were going to say, like, passed away or someone's going to be like, oh, that ain't good.
No, he had a stroke while having sex.
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
It must have been some good sex.
Yeah. Anything else happened on Raw, though, that really...
Not that really stuck out to me. I mean, I'm waiting to see what happens with the Superstar shakeup.
Yeah, I mean, they usually shaft SmackDown, so hopefully they don't put, like, freaking Daniel Bryan and all them on, obviously I think AJ's staying on Raw, or on SmackDown, but
yeah,
hopefully they keep Bryan there, maybe they put Rollins on there.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe Braun Strowman on SmackDown.
Yeah, but then, see, they need to give Braun the belt.
Yeah.
I mean, it needs to happen.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess SmackDown, I thought it was better than Raw. They, obviously, Carmella cashed in her Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I watched a bit of SmackDown. I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing. What do you think of Paige being the GM?
I'm fine with it. I kind of thought they'd go maybe like Jeff Jarrett or Hulk Hogan or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something different.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it gives Paige something to do since she can't.
I wish they would have had an anonymous SmackDown general manager.
That would been awful. And they could bring back the guest host, and Orton could just come out and RKO. But no.
What? You didn't like the anonymous Raw general manager?
It just got dumb after a while. It was cool for a little bit. But, yeah. I thought some of it was dumb in the sense that they had a number one contenders match for the tag team titles.
Yeah.
The Usos and the New Day, when the Usos should just get a rematch, they lost the titles.
Right.
They did a number one contenders match for the U.S. title with Orton, Rude, and Rusev. Yeah. Also, Orton should just get a rematch, even though God, another freaking Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton. God.
Yeah.
If Orton loses again. And then we got, obviously, Daniel Bryan and AJ in a non-title match, which was... I mean, I wasn't a big fan of them giving that away on TV.
Right.
And obviously Shinsuke interfered, but I mean it's cool that Bryan's back, but like I feel like they could have saved this for like SummerSlam
Right.
or like a show down the road.
Yeah.
But overall, I thought SmackDown was decent. You have
Yeah.
anything you want to add to SmackDown?
No. I don't have anything I want to add to SmackDown. I do want to touch on something though. Did you watch the Hall of Fame at all?
Yes, I did. That freaking Jarius kid just roasted John Cena.
Oh,
It was
he
awesome.
roasted everyone.
Yeah. I have a better chance of getting a WrestleMania match than John Cena.
Or The Miz, my least favorite superstar.
Yeah. And then he's all like saying how Roman's his favorite and they booed. He's like, don't do that.
Yeah.
I liked how Goldberg called out Roman Reigns for stealing his spear.
Oh yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, I mean it was fine.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett, meh. Hillbilly Jim, I was kind of sleeping.
What'd you think about Edge and Christian inducting the Dudleys?
That was cool.
Yeah.
They put that production guy through a table, which
Yeah.
was great.
Do you think Edge and Christian was a good choice to
Yeah, I
induct
mean,
the
yeah,
Dudleys?
them or the Hardys.
Yeah.
And I guess they could have had Heyman do it too, but
Yeah.
him inducting Goldberg, I thought was kind of random.
Yeah.
I figured they would have went with like Bischoff or
Yeah, that's who
like
I thought
a
they would've-
WCW person.
Or Sting.
Yeah, Sting or maybe even like a DDP.
Because he gave a lot of props to Sting.
He did.
Yeah.
And DDP.
Yeah, and DDP. Yeah.
Because I mean, there was talk that they were going to have Hogan induct Hillbilly Jim, but they went with Jimmy Hart there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was fine.
Do you think they're still kind of sour towards Hogan? Or?
I think they're just worried about getting negative press.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about it. If they bring him back and people don't, like the sponsors, like we don't want him on television.
Right.
I don't think the fans will. I mean, it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I'm not gonna boo Hulk Hogan.
No, that'd be like booing Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's Mark Henry, I guess, as an also his speech was great. But
Yeah.
I'll get into that.
Dude.
I'll get into that in a second.
Dude.
I guess he's not a big fan of them bringing Hogan back either.
Who, Mark Henry?
Yeah, he just feels like that. I don't know. He doesn't feel like Hogan's like apologized enough. I guess. But yeah, his speech was great. He put on the salmon jacket.
Oh yeah.
Told AJ that he was going to take his belt. He told Roman he could give him the belt or get it took, which was great.
Yeah.
He flirted with Stephanie McMahon.
Oh yeah.
Asked her if she was married.
Gave Mae Young some props.
He did. Yeah, Mark Henry's speech was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, overall.
Sexual chocolate.
It was great.
Yeah. Something I want to veer off for a little bit was I was reading this thing online the other day. It was a blog of sorts. I mean, it wasn't exactly a blog, but this person wrote how Roman Reigns is the Michael Jordan of pro wrestling.
Who wrote this?
I don't remember their name. I don't know if I'll remember the article or not, but when I get home, I can look it up and try to find it again and send you the link if you want to comment. So.
I might end up in jail for burning someone's house. Someone has the balls to compare Michael Jordan to Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't even. Oh yeah.
I think the Michael Jordan of pro wrestling is Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Michael Jordan's probably the greatest ever. Hulk Hogan's probably it.
Yeah.
So I mean, so far, what do you think? Are you looking forward to that Saudi Arabia show at all?
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's basically like a house show. They're just hyping up as like the pay-per-view.
Well, they've got 7 titles on the line.
Yeah, and they're dusting off old Undertaker.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho.
Passing out day passes to Hell's WWE retirement home.
Yeah, Undertaker, Jericho, Cena's getting old.
Yeah.
Roman and Brock again, Jesus.
Oh God. Inside a steel cage. Yeah.
Actually, this could be good. I was looking at the card. Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, The Miz, and Samoa Joe in a ladder match.
For the belt?
Yeah.
Wow.
Then they haven't announced anything else. There's a W title match, U.S. title match, and a Cruiserweight title match. And then the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos. And then Sheamus and Cesaro versus whoever wins that tag.
And that's 7 titles?
Yeah, because there's no women's titles.
Right. Yeah, well, I was wondering about that. Like, how are they going to do 7 titles if the women aren't allowed over there?
Well, there's the Cruiserweight, both SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
The U.S., the WWE title, Intercontinental title, and the Universal title.
Yeah, right there. That's 7.
Then the Royal Rumble match, which is going to be... I wonder if they'll actually do a Royal Rumble match or if they'll just do a Battle Royal.
I don't know.
Because that's going to be a long match. 50 people in a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know, then we get Triple H versus Cena.
Well, we've had a 40-man Royal Rumble match before.
Yeah, and it was awful.
Only because of who won it.
Del Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Del Rio, did you hear TNA let him go because he no-showed?
I haven't watched TNA in years.
I haven't either, but I got my dirt sheets that I go to.
I think the last time I watched TNA, Bobby Lashley was the champion.
Last time I watched TNA, Rockstar Spud was on there.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. You know what he's doing now, don't you?
He's general manager on 205 Live.
Oh, yeah. Going by the name of Drake Maverick.
Yeah, I mean, the only cool person on TNA is Eli Drake because he calls people dummies.
Oh, dude, I just found out the other day that Eric Young was on NXT.
Yeah, you didn't know that? He's been there for a while. He's in Insanity or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess we're kind of going off rambling about random crap.
Yeah.
Did you want to say anything else?
What do you think... All right, this is in terms of the Superstar shakeup.
Okay.
What do you think is the biggest move that needs to be made?
Randy Orton to Raw, Seth Rollins to SmackDown.
Okay.
Get Orton off SmackDown, and then put Seth on Raw or on SmackDown. Maybe put Asuka on SmackDown.
Okay.
Charlotte to Raw.
Okay.
Leave Bryan. I don't think they should move him. That'd be stupid, which I could see them doing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not. Usually they shaft SmackDown, so.
Yeah, usually they do.
Maybe put Braun on Raw or on SmackDown.
Okay. Who else from NXT do you want to see come up and on which show?
Maybe bring up Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
He'd fit perfect on SmackDown.
Okay.
I feel like on Raw he'd get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
Maybe they could bring up Andrade Cien Almas since he lost the NXT title.
Yeah.
What
about Gargano?
Well, didn't he just get wasn't that match where if he lost he had to leave NXT?
Yeah.
So that kind of defeats the purpose of bringing him up now.
True. Yeah.
That'd be cool, but they'd probably put him on Raw.
Yeah, and he'd get lost in the shuffle.
Miz should go back to SmackDown.
I agree.
Dolph Ziggler should get future endeavored. Sami Zayn and Owens will probably go to Raw, which Sami Zayn should also get future endeavored. Dwayne Wade just dunked it.
I should mention we've been watching the NBA playoffs this whole time while doing this podcast.
Yeah, I just saw Wade dunk it. I was like, it's like 2006 all over again.
They just had Allen Iverson on there.
I saw that. But so who would you like to see maybe switch shows?
Rollins to SmackDown, definitely. I think him and AJ Styles would put on a great match. Him and Daniel Bryan would put on a great match. Him and Shinsuke would put on a great match.
I'm just soured on Shinsuke right now.
I think that if they don't move Charlotte to Raw, then they should move Becky Lynch to Raw.
What about, would you move Asuka?
Yes, I would move Asuka to SmackDown. I would also, and I'm not sure which one of the two I would do it to, probably Bayley, but I would move either Sasha or Bayley to SmackDown as well.
Yeah, get them away from each other for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's the only thing with that is like that kind of just like what defeats the purpose of this. I mean, I guess they could always go back to it, but
Right.
and especially they need to get Asuka off because if they put Charlotte on Raw, plus they have Rousey there,
Yeah.
like they need to split one of those three. And plus, I mean, Carmella's the champion now. Asuka could just come in, get her momentum back, and beat Carmella.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll be okay. Hopefully, I mean, the Superstar shakeup last year was kind of just there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should probably touch on this. So there's rumors going around that Rusev is potentially asked for his release from WWE.
Yeah, I've heard those rumors too. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with him being pulled out of the casket match against Undertaker at Greatest
Yeah,
Royal
because they
Rumble.
had that originally announced, and then like the
Yeah,
next
or
day
or
they
if
put Jericho.
yeah, or if him possibly asking for it is a result of that. I'm not sure. Um, I have heard that the reason why Rusev was taken out of the match is because they don't want to bury him.
See, my thing with that is you're facing the Undertaker.
Yeah.
It's not like, I mean, obviously people have their opinions, and Undertaker. Some people think Undertaker should retire. Some people don't, but it's like if I wrestled the Undertaker, to me personally, I'd be honored.
Right.
It's like it's the Undertaker, probably
Right. But
arguably the greatest wrestler ever.
yeah, but I think where Rusev's at right now in his career, in terms of how over he is, but then again, he's organically over. What if some of the people who are like diehard Rusev fans are also diehard Undertaker fans?
Well, no one's gonna boo the Undertaker.
Anyway. Exactly. But do you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
And Rusev does end up winning, and now that those chunk of fans end up hating Rusev now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have Undertaker lose to Rusev. I mean,
yeah.
Now, I mean, I guess they could do something where maybe like Cena got involved.
Yeah, they could.
Maybe like they open the casket and Cena's in the casket.
Yeah. Of course, although Cena would come out and save Jericho. I mean, they are good buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, Cena did sit in a chair one night and watch Chris Jericho sleep while he drank beer all night, but
Cena's probably babysitting.
Yeah.
See, I want to see this. Drunk John Cena would be great.
Oh yeah.
On TV.
Oh yeah.
I mean, drunk John, yeah, or broken John Cena.
Yeah.
Which is like the route they're going now, but yeah, I mean, I don't see Undertaker losing to Jericho, but they could do it, I guess.
Right.
Have Cena get involved, maybe to set up a rematch. I mean, personally, this show's looking better than WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
I mean, minus Roman and Brock, but
right. Okay, I got a question for you.
What's that?
Do you think there will ever be a WrestleMania overseas?
I think at some point they had a SummerSlam in 92 or 93 in like Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
And that holds like 90-something thousand, maybe a little more. They could do a WrestleMania.
Oh yeah. They could even do one in the O2 Arena in Scotland.
I think they will at some point. I mean, I think you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of now. It's kind of getting repetitive. They're going back to New York next year.
I know.
They were just in New Orleans at 30, and they went back this year.
I mean, who do we have to call to get them to hold one at Autzen Stadium here in Eugene? I mean,
it holds 60,000 people.
I know. I mean, who do we have to call? Phil Knight.
He could probably afford it.
Right.
But I don't think they'll do that. It's too cold here.
Yeah.
But
they could at least hold a SummerSlam here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Outdoors, yeah, I'd be all over that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they will at some point, though.
I mean, they let the Grateful Dead perform at Autzen Stadium. Why wouldn't they let the WWE?
Exactly. I mean, they came to Matthew Knight Arena not that long ago. I went to that show.
Yeah, they do house shows there.
It was kind of barf.
Yeah.
Roman got booed in the main event.
Of course.
He tried to do the O and got booed.
Oh, really?
But yeah, Braun was the most over person on that show. It was actually funny. He was walking up the ramp, and there's like a little kid, and the kid like got scared and like ducked, and Braun like gave the kid a shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Babyface Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
They're watering him down.
I think the mixed match challenge did that.
Yeah, they made him funny. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
fine with it, I guess. But...
Yeah. I mean, he is funny.
Oh yeah, if you look at his like Twitter or his Instagram.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, people.
I mean, I've seen his he. I don't know if he still has it, but he used to have a YouTube channel that was just videos of him hunting and fishing. So that makes me wonder if he wants to go hunting with Stone Cold, which I'm sure he does. I know I do.
I know Austin and Brock were supposed to hunt.
Yeah.
But Brock wanted Steve to come up to Canada.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you know Austin sold his ranch in Texas, don't you?
Yeah, he lives in California now.
Yep. 316 Gimmick Street.
Yeah, that's what he calls it.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think, we're kind of just rambling at this point.
Yeah.
Anything else you wanted to discuss or anything?
No, not really. I mean, do you see anything major happening anytime soon?
I have a feeling Roman's winning the belt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just, because I've heard that they might go, if they're trying to get him, they don't think he could get the reaction they want in the States. But then it's just dumb because they're going to come back and he's just going to get booed again.
Yeah.
And who knows if they won't boo him in Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And I don't know. I'm over this whole, like, they need to do something else.
Yeah.
It's clearly not working.
No, it's not. It's not.
And it's not all Roman's fault, but it's more Vince's fault just to not, I've just never seen a top guy this rejected before.
Oh, neither have I, ever.
And they forced it. Like, people have said Cena was overpushed. To some degree he has, but also he was held back.
Right.
Because you look at it on the surface, for a while, they went with Orton first. That didn't work. Not that Orton didn't become a star, he did.
Yeah.
Then they tried Edge, and then Batista, and then Cena.
Yeah.
And Cena's the biggest star out of all four of them.
Yeah.
And he was the last person in the pecking
Well,
order.
I mean, Edge, Orton, and Batista, though, they
they're not,
are who they are.
They're stars, but they're not John Cena.
No, they're not. You're right. None of them are.
And
none of them are going to be playing Duke Nukem in the movie about him coming out.
That's not an insult on any of them.
And
I'm just saying,
none of them are going to be playing in the new Transformers movie that's coming out.
No.
But Cena is.
Yeah. That's not knocking them because Randy Orton's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Oh, yeah.
It's just those guys. Cena was held back, and people are lying when they said he's been overpushed.
Yeah.
He was to some degree, but not like this. They didn't go out of their way to bring in all these people to try to get John Cena over.
Dude, I had to leave this wrestling group that I was a part of because this guy posted in it saying that, Randy Orton isn't even in the top 50 of greatest wrestlers of all time, and if you think otherwise, you're not a true wrestling fan.
He's not a true wrestling fan because he's retarded. Not a top 50 wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is probably, this is without really thinking about it, he's probably in the top 20.
Probably, yeah.
Top 25 at the lowest.
Yeah.
Randy Orton is really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he gets lazy at times, but when Randy Orton wants to perform, he performs.
Yeah, I know what you mean by he gets lazy at times.
Yeah, he has those Randy Orton moments like WrestleMania. He didn't give a fuck. He's like, I don't want to be here.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the times he failed drug tests. He was too lazy because he smoked one too many bowls.
He's a pothead.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's his business.
Yeah, right?
Keep token, Randy.
Keep token.
I just meant like in terms of he gets lazy with like his.
Oh yeah, I know what you meant. I know what you meant. Yeah.
But no, he actually said that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I ended up leaving the group.
Did anyone else respond to that comment?
There were actually a few people that agreed with him.
A lot of people find Randy Orton boring. crap on him. I don't get why. I mean, he's not the most charismatic dude in the world, but
Of course, this person also said that Rick Rude is a better performer than Edge.
performer is in in the ring or like
All
overall?
around.
I'd take Edge over Rick Rude.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick Rude was good for his time,
Yeah.
but I mean, Edge was a pretty versatile performer.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that guy's dummy.
Yeah.
I wish I had one of those. I wish I had that Eli Drake thing. It says dummy.
Well, see, and I couldn't, go to any of the other admins or anything because the guy was an admin.
That's probably spouting off at the mouth.
Yeah.
It's okay. I've heard other crazy stuff. Like people try to say that Roman Reigns is a top 10 or he's better than John Cena and
Oh God.
it just is. People are dummies.
They're stupid idiots. They should be on the list.
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard Jericho compliment Roman Reigns, so he should perhaps put himself on his own list.
Right.
I mean,
I've heard people compliment Roman Reigns, and
it's not even that he's a bad performer. It's just how he's booked mainly.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to make him a sympathetic figure.
Yeah, well, and like I said, I'd like to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'd like to think, rebranded and repackaged, he could be a star.
You know what I want to see?
What?
Hollywood heel John Cena.
Hollywood heel John Cena?
That would be some good television. Or it's like I've said for years, I want to see a faction, like an evolution. You get Triple H in the manager role. You get Cena and Orton in the main event role. You get a jobber in there and then a female, and they just bury everyone. I wanted to see it for years. Orton and Cena just bury everyone. It'd be great.
Yeah, and Triple H would be standing there with the shovel.
Yeah, just over his shoulder. Cena and Orton have all the belts.
Which jobber and which female would you put in?
Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
It would be the perfect heel for that. Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks.
Just because she's a freaking bitch.
Okay.
What she can be. I mean, that's what I would do.
I'd put Alexa Bliss in there.
Actually, yeah. That would probably be better.
Yeah.
Then you need Ziggler because Cena and Orton aren't doing the job, brother. Well, they shouldn't be.
No.
So you need Ziggler in there to eat the pinfalls.
Yeah.
And I just don't like Dolph Ziggler.
I'm not a fan of Ziggler either.
But so what else? Do you want to? Anything else you want to?
No. I think we're done with our review of WrestleMania, Raw, and SmackDown.
Yeah, we kind of went on a little tangent, but that's all right.
Oh yeah. I mean,
we're watching Philadelphia Heat or Miami's beating Philly right now. But did you want to plug your channel or anything before we get out of here?
Yeah. Sure. I'll plug my YouTube channel. It's where I do my videos. They're mostly political of nature. Politics and wrestling. Those are two things I'm real passionate about. So anyways, my other channel is called For the Love of Liberty. Once we got this made into a video and put up on YouTube, this podcast here, then I will can put a link in the description of the video, and that's that. Anyways, once again, we want to thank you for listening. This has been Turnbuckle Talk, and we will be back with a review and recap of the Superstar Shakeup.
Yep. Hopefully it's good.
All right. Have a good one, y'all.